want to thank our sponsor, Vertex Watches, who are a British heritage brand that meets Swiss engineering to create hard-working, functional and reliable watches. They produce a nice selection of timepieces, but my personal favourite is the Monopusher 45 or MP45, that is a direct descendant of watches worn by World War II soldiers who defused unexploded enemy ordnance in 1945. They have two different versions in the MP45 and MP45 Heritage, and they come in either automatic or manual with a 40mm case, superluminova and a sapphire crystal. Pick up yours now and check out their accessories while you're there via vertex-watches.com. Thank you and enjoy.
And if I just dive behind me as well, you'll also have one of these. So this is a longie, which is basically the full selection here, and you've got a shorty as well, and you also get combos. So the idea is that you'll wear one of these on top already, so you can see that's without the sleeves and without the long legs as well. And they're basically your kind of basic thermal layers underneath. So you'll wear all that underneath your flying suit. And then if it's a nice day like today and the sea temperature is less than 10 degrees, which it is already now and it will be until like next April time unfortunately, you'll also have the pleasure of wearing one of these, which is basically a full-on wetsuit. It's called an immersion suit. You'll step into this, it's got neoprene seals that go around the neck and the arms. The idea is to keep you kind of watertight, and it's a real frustration of us as fighter pilots wearing this. Especially on some like hot days where the sea temperature is less than 10 but it's still 25 degrees out there, you'll be sweating away in this, it's horrible. However, clearly the idea being that you eject over the North Sea where it's 9-10 degrees, it's pretty cold, and if you're unconscious from the ejection or anything like that at all, bobbing in the water, this is going to preserve your life for many hours, a lot longer than if you were just in your flying suit and just getting drenched through. So really important bit of kit, even though it is the bane of a lot of fighter pilots' lives, having to put it on and off every day, and the sweat that it generates.
What about the thermals?
So yeah, thermals this. You might want to take the flying suit off if we're in this, so I'd kind of go flying suit or immersion suit, depending on what we're doing. So for the summer, I'll just keep my flying suit on and chuck my stuff over the top. If it's winter, so now I'd leave my thermals on underneath, take my flying suit off and then put that layer on next, if that makes sense. After that, then move on to the actual kind of G protection, and again, there's multiple ways of wearing this and different bits of kit. I'll see what this dude's got. Bobby. Yeah, he's got the same as me. So these are effectively clip-ons, so I won't put them all on for you now, but you get the idea. It's a case of clipping on around the waist and then twisting so that you have one over each leg, and they will go zip and clipped around each leg, and they're fitted. Clearly I'm quite a small pilot, Bobby's a lot larger than me, so this is very much fitted for Bobby's pleasure, but for me it's very much quite baggy. The idea being that it's very much fitted to you, and this forms part of the PEC, which will plug into the side of the ejection seat. So it's the first kind of part of the G protection. So as I pull G, the air pressure is going to be forced down through this tube into the bladders and pockets that are around my abdomen and my legs and my chest. And the idea being that, imagine if you're, I don't know, a pub and you've said something uncomfortable and you're about to get a punch or a bit of a hit in the gut, you kind of tense your muscles up. It's that kind of feeling of tensing and straining and preparing for a bit of a body blow. That's the best way to kind of deal with the G, is that kind of straining and tensing, and this helps you do that by inflating the bladders at just the right times so that you tense your body up naturally, and it tenses your legs. It also stops the blood from pooling down to the lower extremities of the body by keeping the blood flow going around your body, because you know with G, and again we'll talk a lot I'm sure about G as part of the display interview, G awareness and G protection is a really important part of what we do, and this kit is really good at helping you along with that. So yeah, G protection is really important, and the G pants, as we've got here, are a vital part of that setup. The other part of that is the jacket itself, which again you feel free to have a feel. It's pretty heavy if you want to have a feel of that. So yeah, it's got a lot of kit in it, so imagine all the G makes you weigh a lot more, and that's already kind of on you. Again, feel free to dive in, Mike, if you get the chance. It's
Jesus,
it's pretty heavy, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, fair amount of kit in there. So you've got the life preserver around the actual neck itself, so automatic inflation as you hit the water, so if you're unconscious, that will keep your head, it will right you the right way up and keep your head above the water flow, so keep you hopefully alive for a little longer. And then you've got things like the arm restraints that are built into the seat, built into the jacket as well. You'll clip when you strap in as well, so they'll rip your arms and legs into your body position as you eject, to keep you nice and clean as you go up into the airflow. So some really important kit in there. You've also got the manual inflation valve on the other side, so you can quickly pull that to inflate it all around you. and then you've got things like the PSP as well, which connects here to the ejection seat. So as you eject, that's pulled to its full extension and then pulled, and that automatically sets off your emergency fast find beacon, which means that already as soon as you eject, the emergency beacons are going off to let search and rescue know where you are, which is really important. And then the heaviness is all the pockets that are filled with loads of survival aids. So underneath the ejection seat, there's the life raft, and that's got loads of different ejection aids in it in terms of, water and personal survival packs and tablets. But there's also a lot in your jacket as well. So you've got things like flares in here as well. You've got a knife, you've got water osmosis pumps, you've got absolutely all sorts in here. So that, again, if you eject and you have to survive on the moorland for 3 or 4 days by yourself, or out over the sea for a couple of days, then you've got enough kit to keep you alive for a few days at least. We've also got thermal protection garments, hats, balaclavas, gloves, all sorts in here to kind of keep you protected. The idea being that if you're in UK waters or UK mainland, you'd like to think within an hour or two you'll be picked up, which would be great. But there's some parts of the world where we'll be flying where you're probably not going to be picked up for quite some time. So you need to have all the stuff kind of with you to protect you in those environments. So lots of flying kit that we fly with, and again, that's all got the G protection kit that's built onto it as well. Final thing to say about the jacket is also, this is the PEC I was talking about, where the G pants will get clipped into as well. This is where the high pressure air goes in for the G protection, and then you've got, this is the oxygen flow as well, which comes all the way up through here, clips onto the mask, and that's how you physically breathe as well. You've also got the mic towel lead, so you can communicate with air traffic control and your wingman, etc. So lots of clever kit goes into the jacket, which is why it's quite a heavy bit of kit. And again, it's all perfectly suited and fitted to yourself for best comfort. So
it's not small, medium, large type thing?
Well,
right.
I think it probably is in terms of basic design, but then they tighten up around the edges to make it fit perfectly for you. So really good bits of kit, really important bits of kit. And then the final thing to say, the helmets, which again, we use Bobby's just as a heads up. So I can show you helmets here. So basic helmet design, I think it's like the Mark 10 or something, I'm not entirely sure, but the idea being that it's quite lightweight, so you can feel, considering the amount of weight the jacket was, actually that's pretty good for a helmet. So under the G you can see it's pretty light.
I've got one in the office.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there we go. So you're all over it already. But yeah, pretty good in terms of protection wise. The night helmet's very similar. It's just got the bracket on the top as well, so you can click the night vision goggles again. Again, aspirational for Typhoon with the Striker 2 is to have all the night vision stuff built into the helmet. For us at the moment, we're still old school. We have to click on night vision goggles onto the helmet and flip them down so we can physically look at things by night time, which is a bit cumbersome, but it still works. Obviously, as well as all the crash protection bits, the visor and all that sort of good stuff, you've also got the mask, which, as you can see, has got the microphone in the side built around there, and then the breathing apparatus so that you can have that high-powered oxygen. It's also important to note, particularly for display, when I'm at that 9G and sustained, not only is my G protection on my pants working overtime to keep me awake and alive, but you can't physically breathe at 9G either because your lungs can't take the oxygen. So the Typhoon is forcing high-powered oxygen through into my lungs, keeping me breathing, so which is quite uncomfortable when you first do it. I can't remember what the exact term is, but basically it's an overpressure, so the oxygen is forced into your lungs, so that while you're sustaining 9G, you're getting oxygen to keep your brain working. Because if you just try and breathe normally, it doesn't work. It's
can't do it.
Your lungs are collapsed and you just physically can't breathe. You have to relax the G. So to sustain 9G, you need all that stuff working for you, which is why, again, for all Typhoon flying, but particularly display, the G protection needs to be 100% working. If I was to crew in at Blackpool, for example, and my G pants aren't working, then I need to get into my spares, and if the kit isn't working at all, that I'm not going to go flying, because the G protection is so important to that jet, particularly for display flying. Combat situation, discussed, but certainly for a training sortie like a display, I wouldn't take that sort of risk. That's it really in terms of the kit, but yeah, it gives you a bit of an idea anyway as to kind of some of the stuff we fly with and the weight of it all. So you do by winter end up like Michelin man, kind of walking out to the line with all your kit on and with all your nav bag and your goggles and all sorts. So you do end up with quite a lot of kit, but it's good kit and it keeps you alive.